Hi, everybody. Hopefully, you survived your lesson in algebra, converting between the different forms. Today, we're going to look at a slightly different type of factoring in order to find the variables. The problem becomes is that factoring doesn't always give us exact values, and we've been taught that when we factor, that we always want to have whole numbers or at least as much as possible. So we need some methods in order to figure out what happens when your x-intercept is 4.573 or something like that. Um, let's have a look. Before I move on, this lesson was originally intended to be, I believe, give or take May the 4th. So hopefully you like Star Wars because there's a lot of Star Wars references in it. So you're being given the equation h equals negative 5t squared plus 40t plus 2. And you've been asked to find the vertex form of this equation. How do you do it? And most of you are probably confused because you're probably looking at it going, well, I can't factor out a negative 5, and that's true. And if I multiply negative 5 times 2, that gives me negative 10, and there's no way to multiply to get negative 10 and add to 40. Hence this dude who, I don't know what he's doing, dressed as Darth Vader with a kilt on a unicycle while playing the bagpipes driving down the road. That might be something Curtis and Josh do on a Friday night, but most of us, I don't know what's going on in his brain to make that happen. At the moment, the only way we know how to solve this is to make a graph. So I'm going to save you the hassle. We're going to get rid of the at or landwalker or that badly mistreated dog, and we're going to have a look at the graph. So taking the points, I'm a Star Wars fan, and even I think that poor dog was abused. Our graph is going to look like this. So it means that our vertex is give or take here, and we could use that to convert, and we know how to do it from a table of values. But the point is that it's a lot of work, and it's a pain in the butt. So there is another way of doing it. There's actually two other ways. I forgot about the second one. Today we're going to look at partial factoring. I love this picture. I don't know who came up with it or why. I just like the idea that they're partially there. First time I ever taught this lesson, I had a young lady that nearly cried because this picture just freaked her out too much. All right. Determine the maximum value of the quadratic relation. Da, 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 da. And the first part is can you factor? And the answer is no. No, you cannot. So we got to start looking at other ways to approach it. And what we're going to do is something called partial factoring. Okay, we can factor the first two terms, and if we ignored this part, we know how to factor that. The problem is, oops, I can't get rid of it this way. The problem is, it's there. So how do we deal with it? So we're going to choose y equals 29 and then put it into our equation. So the reason that we chose it was because of this value right here. Because if we have them both in our equation, then when we move this over here, it'll cancel out. And this we can solve. Okay. Now, realistically, I really should have factored out the 3 as well. And in fact, I'm going to fix that boo-boo. Oh, okay, I see what I've done. So we're going to check out the next slide. I really should have factored out the 3 and saved myself a little bit of work, but it doesn't make a whole lot of difference. That x equals 0, right? We break it down into 2 parts, and now we can solve. So move the 12 over, move the 3 over. So we got our x-intercepts of 0 and 4. So now we know 2 points, and we can find the vertex. At this point, we're back into what we've been doing. So find the vertex. Go away, Han Solo. There we go. Add the 2 points together. and divide by 2. So really, this is the AOS. And we're going to get rid of Han Angry Bird, because at this point we know to fly this bad boy in for the x's. Use BEDMAS to solve, and it gives us a vertex of 241. Okay, now that we know that the vertex is 241, we know the standard format of the equation is blah blah blah, which means we know A by Sheldon and Lenny. We can put them all together. So our A value flies in, flies in, flies in. Okay, so we've really broken that one down. Let's have a look at an example, or actually give it a shot or follow along. Ooh. So we're going to partially factor. Actually, I don't feel too bad about this. We're going to choose y equals 5 and then get rid of the 5. And now we know how to solve this. And it's better to fully factor than it is to partially factor. Just makes the math easier afterwards is all. Find your axis of symmetry, optimal value, find y, which gives us our vertex. We know our A value, so we can just turn around and fly that bad boy in. That's right, I called my A value a bad boy. And we've got the whole equation put together. It's a lot of steps, but most of them, this last part here, you're already fully aware of and know how to do. This you know how to do. It's just this step, remembering that you put in a 5, remembering that you put in whatever this value is in for y. Short and sweet, although it's going to be a little bit of a challenge to do. There is a handout, get yourself done, and enjoy, once you know it, the unlimited power that you're going to get from it.